I'm still thrilled to see so many of you back in church this morning. Today we celebrate the beginning of another program year. It's been a long time since we've been able to celebrate together as a parish family. And while I know that there are some members of our family who aren't comfortable being here, I hope they're watching online. And I hope the day will come soon when we can all be back together and the church will be full again. This month marks my 37th anniversary at St. John's. Now I know you're thinking, he must have been baptized here as a baby. But no, I first came to St. John's in September 1984 as a GW student. I lived in Thurston Hall, which is a big dorm at GW at 19th and F, just a few blocks away. And I'm embarrassed to say that Burger King has always been my thing. It continues to be. And on Friday night, I walked back to the dorm from my work-study job, and there were a group of students sitting outside eating Burger King. And so I asked where they got the food, and they had said that a new Burger King had just opened at 16th and K. And so on Saturday, I decided I'd go find this Burger King for lunch, and I did. And on my walk back to the dorm, I happened on St. John's. It was a beautiful fall day, and Jim Holmes, one of our former assistant ministers, was sitting outside on the benches, and I asked him if the church was open, and he jumped right up and said, "You want a tour?" And I said, "Sure." And we ended up spending probably close to an hour together. He invited me to come back the next day for worship, and I did. I have to admit, I wasn't totally comfortable. There weren't many, quite frankly, any young single people at St. John's back then. But I was blown away by the music and the preaching. And so I came back a few weeks later, and Jim was outside again. He saw me and ran right up to me and welcomed me and then said, "Hey, can you be the crucifer? Our crucifer is sick." And clearly I was hesitant. It was only my second time at St. John's. But Jim assured me that he would coach me and that all would be well, and it was. And the rest, as they say, is history. There's no question Jim took the commandment to be a fisher of men. He caught me, that's for sure. But what's kept me here all these years are the people. Of course, the music and the preaching continue to be exceptional, but it's really the people here who feed me week after week. Many of my closest friends are friends because of St. John's. This place is as much my family as my blood relatives. In addition to beginning another program year today, we're also beginning our annual Stewardship campaign. And I'd like to invite you to join me in financially supporting our parish. If you regularly support St. John's, on behalf of Rob and the vestry, please accept our sincere thanks. If you can stretch and give a bit more for 2022, we'd appreciate it. If you haven't pledged in the past, please consider making a pledge for 2022. We'll begin drafting next year's budget next month, and I hope that with your pledging, we'll be allowed to put together a sound budget that reflects who we are as a congregation and our priorities. Due to the uncertainty surrounding the pandemic and the economy, we didn't give our hardworking and dedicated staff raises this year. We simply can't go 2 years in a row without salary adjustments. Music has long been a hallmark of this parish, as evidenced by today's fabulous program. It's time we return to a full-time music director. When we initially hired Savannah Ponder 3 years ago as our coordinator for children and family programs, she made great progress in shaping a strong experience for our youngest members and their families. We need to refill this position. While a clergy person can provide oversight for these programs, it's just not possible for a clergy person to provide the needed level of support given the other demands of a priest's time. And then there's the cost of maintaining our 200-year-old buildings. As you can imagine, it's not inexpensive to keep these buildings in good condition. While it's important to take care of our staff and our facilities, we're also called to take care of others, so outreach remains a significant portion of our budget. We tithe 10% of pledge revenue to outreach, so that the more generous we are as a congregation, the more generous we can be to others. In addition, we give generously to the diocese in support of Bishop Marianne and her staff, but really more importantly in support of our brothers and sisters who are in congregations that rely on the diocese. I invite you to visit our website to learn more about our outreach programs, both in the city and around the world. It's absolutely true, we're blessed with an endowment that helps support our operating budget, but the endowment is a gift from past generations. It's our time and our responsibility to pay our way now. The vestry would like to reduce our reliance on the endowment over the next few years, but we need your support to accomplish that. So I hope you'll consider joining me in supporting our beloved parish so that confidently we can move forward into 2022, proclaiming God's love from our corner of Lafayette Square as we have for more than 200 years. Thank you.